Hey guys, bet you thought you wouldn't see another Dark Souls video for a while, seeing as I kind of stopped with my series. It just became a thing that I want to enjoy in my spare time. I was streaming occasionally, but anyway, what I'm here to tell you guys today is that I just beat Dark Souls 3 last night at the time of recording this, and it was amazing. Now, I didn't really want to record the hype video after having just beaten it, because I think I'd just be fangirling for, the entire video. But holy shit was this game amazing. There are a few bosses that genuinely pissed me off, two of them being the Nameless King and Sister Freed. Holy shit, fuck those bosses. I eventually just cheesed them with the Dragon Armor shield, because after hours and hours of banging my head against them, I'm like, you know what, fuck this. I'm like, it's come to the point where it's not even that enjoyable of a challenge anymore. Like, Pontiff and the Dancer, they were really, really fun, right? They were just epic and awesome to learn. There's one phase. Well, I guess Pontiff is two, but it's all one phase for the most part, right? Like with Freed, it was like fight this bitch with the scythe who can get you from invisibility. Although it became kind of easy to detect where she was going, but every now and again she would always get me. And then phase two with her, ridiculous smash everything father, which again wasn't too hard, but if you're greedy like me, you get bulldozed. And then phase 3, where she's got two sides with a ridiculous reach, dark and frost magic, yeah, it pissed me off. And the Nameless King, well, I don't think I need to go into that, because he's one of the most famous bosses of all time, so yeah. Anyway, my only Souls game prior to this is Dark Souls 1. I tried Dark Souls 2, but I just couldn't really get into it. I tried to get into it, but it just wasn't for me. The combat, just everything. It was all so different from the first one, and that's okay to an extent. But the first one was done really, really well. And I think a lot of people would agree with me that they just don't like the second one. Some people aired the second game as their favorite because it was innovative and different. But I just couldn't get into the second one. So the first one was my first introduction to the Souls series, and then I played this, and I loved both of them. I don't even know which one I would rank higher. Because nothing ever beats your first experience, right? Like when I first faced off against fucking Ornstein and Smaug, I took a break from the game for like a month before coming back to that shit, but I look back on that as, a really fond memory when I beat that and, cheered for victory and collapsed on the ground. It was amazing. And then beating guys like the Four Kings. Four Kings were more of a pain in the ass than anything. The Bed of Chaos was ridiculous, but then Gwyn. Gwyn the Lord of Cinder. Oh my god, when I finally beat him, it was incredible. And now, if you're a parry god, which I'm not, that fight is extremely trivial. But since I wasn't, I struggled in that fight a little bit, but I think you're supposed to struggle on the final boss. It's the glory of beating it, I think. The Soul of Cinder, I'm not gonna lie, I think was a bit easy. It took a little while to get used to, but I kind of like the fact that you have to constantly adapt to the environment. He's got his sword, he's got the lance, he's got the Catalyst as a sorcerer, he's got the Falchion and the Pyromancy. The Falchion phase is probably the most complicated because of the timing. Like, it's a wind-up attack, and you dodge too soon, and you stand up and get hit by it, and then the next two are quick, and you're gonna get hit by one of those, if not both of them. That one was kind of annoying, but the sorcery one, fuck those balls, man. Yeah, the sorcery phase is annoying, but I can usually push that before it's too long. But then, it took me 2 attempts, I'm not gonna lie, it took me 2 attempts or so to get him past phase 1. I'm like, there's no way that was it. That was way too easy to be a final boss. And then lo and behold, there he goes into phase 2. And I'm like, alright, full health bar, fiery sword, let's do this. And then that music, that fucking music. Gwyn's theme with a slightly slower tempo to complement the already ominous boss music. Holy shit, that was incredible. See, what made it cool is not just that it was the final boss music of Dark Souls 1, which was very beloved, and it was a very epic boss, but the fact that it just complemented the fact that the Soul of Cinder literally embodied Gwyn at that point. He harnessed the soul of Gwyn, the Lord of Cinder, the first Lord of Cinder, and just came at you in a very Gwyn-esque way. Like, he had a couple new fancy abilities thrown in there, but for the most part, it was like a 2016 version of Gwyn, which I have no problem with. I like the fact that the first phase is multi-directional, and you have to do a bajillion different things in order to adapt constantly, and there's some RNG, which is a bit of a pain. The only thing I would dock points for in this fight is the RNG, and maybe it wasn't challenging enough, but I guess the challenge depends on your RNG. But the fact that he was very much like Gwyn in the second phase, I had zero problem with. I thought it was amazing, and it was so awesome of a feeling when I finally got it down. Also, since the footage you're seeing right now is my first playthrough of this game, I didn't look up what to do. I didn't say which is the best ending or whatever, which ending means what. Like, I just decided to summon the Firekeeper. But I think next time I play through this, which will probably be by tomorrow, it'll probably be by tomorrow when I play through it again, I'll probably link the fire because, you know, why not? Yeah, alright, so sorry for getting kind of rambly, but I just really wanted to share my thoughts on Dark Souls 3 as a whole. And lastly, my top 3 bosses for this would probably be the Abyss Watchers at number 3. I thought they were an amazing early game challenge as their first Lord of Cinder. Number 2 would definitely be Champion Gundyr. I don't really have any footage to show for my first playthrough because I wasn't recording at the time for whatever reason. But he took me probably about a solid 45 minutes to an hour to complete. I really liked how fast-paced he was. I like the fast-paced bosses, I really do. I didn't like that fucking charge and then turning on a dime and 360 swooping you. I only dodged that maybe 2 out of the 4 or 5 times he did it, which is more than some people, but less than others. It's whatever, but yeah, Champion Gundyr was really cool. And then number 1, I have to give to the Soul Ascender. Yeah, it wasn't the hardest boss in the game. You know, it's not the hardest boss in all the Soul series, but it was just such an amazing way to end it, right? Like, we're in the kiln of the first flame pretty much. Not exactly the same as in the first one. It's just an updated, much higher graphics, just much better looking area. The first phase of the boss is 100% unique in the sense that we haven't fought that kind of boss before, although a lot of his techniques were very much like, you know, previous Lords of Cinder, right? You know, it had, you know, its attack patterns resembled Lorien, the Abyss Watchers, and all other kinds of random stuff thrown in there, and then that homage to Gwyn, mwah, holy shit, that was amazing. Alright? Again, I apologize for the rambling, but that was my thoughts on Dark Souls 3. Please tell me what you thought of Dark Souls 3 in the comments below. Do share with me. Do share with me your thoughts. I love talking Dark Souls with people. I'm not really a Dark Souls channel. I'm not really a insert name here anything channel. I just have some videos about some games, and I really like to talk about them. So whatever you thought about Dark Souls 3, please do tell me below. Until you see me again, live well.